Hello, welcome to our live stream. I'm Rachel Archelaus. This is Carrie Roldan, and we are here for half an hour to talk about productivity from a very different viewpoint than you commonly hear. I was just kind of wanting to chat with Carrie this week and have some little casual conversation with you all. But I was reminded that Carrie and I have been experiencing a lot of spaciousness this week, but also stuff flying off our to-do list. I have more homework this week than I've had all semester, and yet I'm still ahead, and I don't really know how that happened. I've gotten so much gardening done, and I feel like I just haven't really done much this week. It feels really incredible. Carrie's had similar experiences. The people in our class right now, Hire Your Higher Self, link below if you want to join us, have been experiencing similar things. And so we were just like, yeah, this is pretty rad. We are experiencing more ease and yet getting more done. So we're going to talk about that. You can join in the chat. Hi, Dale. Hi, Guillaume. Put in, are you feeling this? Are you experiencing this? But then also Carrie and I are we're just gonna catch up.
Okay, yay. And we were actually just doing that right before the call, so that was fun too. So I will just let you guys know that right now this is an example of what's happening. Okay, let me just start again. I am so glad you mentioned the class, the Hire Your Higher Self class. And Rachel and I were just talking ahead of time saying, you know what? I was not expecting the results that I've gotten from doing the Higher Self class, which can sound silly because these are the results we're promising and we know that you will get them. And yet we're only 4 days in and I have been blown away by my personal results. I think I just felt like, oh, I know this stuff. It's stuff that I'm always doing, but there's something really powerful about when we have a daily app, which I didn't, honestly, Rachel, I didn't think I was going to love the accountability in the app. I thought it would just be one more thing, but it's the thing I look forward to every morning. And so actually those of you who are loving the daily alignment show, just join us in the class. It's not too late. Just come on over because I love it. I love getting up and getting into that app, and it is my daily dose of awesome. And yeah, just the shift. I think there is something powerful about doing things collectively. But anyhow, my example here is that I am sweaty. I just got off my Peloton, and I didn't think that on a normal day, if I choose not to do my workout as soon as I drop my kids off at school, it doesn't get done. And today I really was listening to my higher self. I got home from dropping my kids off at school and I was excited about eating sourdough toast. That's what I wanted to do. And I had 4 pieces of toast. And I was just delighting in it. And I was remembering this story of my cousin's daughter who called it yellow on white. That's what she would ask for. I want yellow on white, which meant butter on sourdough toast. Anyway, I just was just sort of savoring what I was eating. I was savoring that memory of sweet little Capri, and not giving myself crap, but living sort of under the assumption, well, I guess that means I don't get my workout in today. And then just as my day unfolded, I looked at what was going on and thought, oh my gosh, I could totally fit it in before I have a call with Rachel. And did, and had a great workout. And yeah, and so that's what I guess we're talking about here, right? Is that with runners, I say sometimes you have to slow down to speed up, right? But it's that giving myself a break, actually listening to my own self and watching all the cool stuff happen. And I was telling you and some of the people in the class the other day, I have noticed that I went on a cleaning spree in my house. I knocked chores, things that I didn't want to do. suddenly was like, oh, I could totally do that right now. Like there was resistance was gone, and I just did it, and it's done, and it's off my list. And if you know me at all, you know that making phone calls is my very least favorite thing to do. And I had to do that like twice this week and was like, oh, I have time to do it. Like, no big deal. And so I am just really enjoying that.
Well, you see that little guy right there? He's going to eat my carpet unless I put his food down. I'm just going to grab his food.
All right.
But it looks like Dale and Guillaume have comments.
Yeah, well, so let's talk about it. So, hey, by the way, Dale and Guillaume, hello, good to see you. Guillaume says, with me, I haven't done much recently on my third French spy novel. Been feeling really overwhelmed inside. That was just a yawn from me. But also, I'm reminded, Guillaume, I don't know if you'll find this funny, but I'm reminded of a meditation that I heard a while ago, and it's called Fuck That. It's just this like, just let that shit go. And I am someone who regularly feels overwhelmed. And overwhelm is probably like the worst place in the world to try and make yourself do something from. Did that sentence make sense?
Yeah.
So it's pretty natural that you wouldn't want to work on your novel if you're feeling overwhelmed. That makes sense.
You know, I'm also a writer, and see me on Substack, new post coming soon. When I try to write and I start to feel overwhelmed or pressured of like, it has to be good, like I really want people to like this, or, you know, this needs to sell. I get really weirded out and I don't want to write, because that is just way too much pressure to write from, because writing requires an open, creative vibe. You need to be able to just channel that stuff out, right? And so what I do is I just go back to myself. What do I want to read? What do I want to write about? How do I want to say it? And then it's easy, it's fun, it's flowing. It's much better to read as well. Because when I start to get into my head, then it gets like really choppy and formulaic, and it's just not as flowing. So that is my best recommendation for any kind of creative project. It's just like, what do you want to do? It's all about you.
And Dale has a really great response to that as well. So she says, hey, Guillaume, I want to share that 2 days ago, I woke up and decided I didn't want to write. By making it okay, I suddenly had a bunch of energy for other things that I actually wanted to do. And that's the point, right?
Mm-hmm.
It can be so tricky. And Dale's finishing her thought. She said it took the energy off of having to fulfill that identity as a creator or a writer. That's such a good point. By the way, that's like a whole other rabbit hole that we could go down. But yeah, I think that I feel like we can't say this enough, right? So many of us have been conditioned to believe, do what you must do first, and then you'll have time to do what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
An intimate alien has been lovingly reminding us forever and ever and ever, amen, that actually do what you want to do first. And then what you must do will either become something you want to do, or it will magically take care of itself. It will just happen. And I know that has, just by starting my day each day with the meditation in the app that Intimate Alien has given us, I feel so much more ease in allowing myself to do what I want to do, right? Embodying more of my higher self. She's more playful, right? And surprisingly productive. I think that is, I don't think that I had equated productivity and play. And it's been really good. And I feel like I'm just like rambling on, but something that has happened for me in these past 4 days is the expansion of time. And that's what we're talking about anyway. It's like, oh my gosh. Without putting things in a calendar, like productivity hacks, without like doing all the things to like make sure I get shit done. Actually, just by like allowing, I'm doing a lot of stuff with so much more ease, so much less resentment, yes, but also resistance. Like I think about making dinner and just the amount of energy I have to do that, have had to do that this week compared to other days when I'm like kind of resentful and tired and hungry. And I make dinner as soon as I get home from coaching a bunch of high school kids, so I'm often sweaty and like yeah, I don't know, I'm feeling all of that. What are you feeling?
Well, this is what I always try to tell people, but of course, like people, like everyone needs to experience it for themselves. But a lot of people, I've been helping people connect with their higher selves for a very long time. And everyone is so worried that once they start living intuitively, they'll just not do anything, right? They'll just sleep on the couch for a week and nothing will happen, or they'll start to eat all the chocolate cakes in the world and become 500 pounds. And it's just not the case, because your higher self is looking out for you. Your higher self knows what's on your to-do list. It knows what's important and needed to get done. And it's guiding you the whole way and animating you through the things that you think you don't want to do. So I just love it. I love that people are feeling it. Like people almost all my life have asked me, how do I get so much done? I've been called like, oh, you're two people, or you're blah, blah, blah. Like this is how, is because when you don't resist, when you actually have the energy to do the things you're doing, you get so much more done. It's like what could take 5 hours took 5 minutes. And that's not even an exaggeration. Like it's amazing. I love living this way. And I've been feeling this very interesting thing. So I have a little triathlon tomorrow. It's my first ever like competitive event. It's not even that competitive. Like you're there for you. You're there for your own, like, what is your own time? But it's a fun thing, right? And I'll get a little medal and it's going to be really cool. And so I decided like, I'm going to give it my all. So I'm going to like taper, I'm going to rest up so that I'm going in super fresh. And luckily my watch tells me like what my recovery score is. And so by tomorrow, it'll be 100%, which means I took 2 days off of working out. That's it. So far, I've taken 2 days off and it feels like I haven't worked out in forever. It just feels like I've never gone to the gym and like I've only just been luxuriating at home and doing a little bit of yard work. It's like, it just feels so different this week. Like it feels incredibly open, and it works both ways for me. Like I did a lot of my homework earlier in the week, and now I just feel like I have all this free time, which I do. But sometimes I don't want to do my homework at all, and I'll just like cram it into Sunday night. But I realized that that's fine. I always get it done on Sunday night. It's not even a stressful thing. And I get to do everything I want to do leading up to that. And so I think a lot of people, they get bogged down and overwhelmed because they think they should be doing something different at the moment. They get procrastinating because they think they should be doing that thing, when really you probably have all the time you need to do the things you want and the things you have to do. Which, of course, I want to do my homework because I'm choosing to be in school, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. And like just the idea that they call it homework sort of makes it something that you feel like you shouldn't want to do. So
Yeah.
I wanted to say something about when you put your higher self in charge, how we're afraid we might like just lay around on the couch forever. I think for me, what I've learned is when I do that, I do lay around on the couch for a little while. In fact,
but not like 24 hours a day.
No, it's just recognizing like there's this fear of like there's no time to lay around on the couch or and like so often when I check in with my higher self, in fact, that was a message I got today. It was like, just rest, man. Rest. And so, Guillaume, you said the big problem with me is I keep waking up so late, even though I go to bed early to get enough sleep. There are things I do in the morning before I can write. So one, I would question that word, like before you can write, but I would also just like give yourself a break, right? If you're going to bed early and sleeping in late, it might be because that's what you need right now. And it's probably not going to last forever. I have found that over and over again. Like I'll go through periods of like, oh, wow, I am sleeping way more than usual. And those periods are often followed by periods of sleeping less than usual and getting stuff done. So, or not even getting stuff done, just sleeping less than usual and waking up and journaling for a long time or doing other things that I want to do. So,
the moral of the story really is when you stop resisting what's happening, you do allow your higher self in more, and the solution comes with that. The solution is always available. The solution's always trying to find you. But if you're naming that you're wrong in that moment, if you're naming that I'm sleeping too much or I can't do my routine or what was it for me? I have to do my homework right now. What's wrong with me that I don't want to do it? Like, you're not going to be able to find the solution. And so acceptance of the moment. Okay, I'm sleeping right now. That's fine. There's always a way to get what I want done, even if I'm sleeping a lot or even if I can't do the exact routine or whatever. I can do my routine later. I can take extra naps in the day if I need to get up earlier to do my routine, and then I'll take a nap at noon. Like there's always a way to work with yourself, because the big picture, everybody, I love pulling out and open like this. You are creating everything you see. You're the creator. Take a big breath. You're the creator. And if you've created this, everything in front of you, you created us being here with you right now to remind you of this, then you can create a better version of this. You've probably lived a worse version of this. Maybe you've lived a better version of this. You can always go back there because you have that vibrational memory. But even if you don't have the vibrational memory in you as a human, your higher self is living the vibration that you ultimately want. So I know it might be difficult if you've never really felt that. Like if you're wary of that, like I get that. I grew up seeing what people don't normally see. So I have a greater, like this doesn't feel foreign to me. It doesn't feel like blind faith to me. It doesn't feel like nobody told me this. And then I was like, oh yeah, that, I'm going to believe you. Like it's an innate thing in me. And I'm sure it's probably an innate thing in you to be like, that feels true. It feels true that I'm the creator of my own life. It feels true that I created this and that I can create anything else I want. And if that's the case, if that feels true to you, then own it. Be empowered by that, right? Be empowered by the fact that you can change your world. That is rad. It's rad. And I think we all get so lost in the minutia of every day. We forget that. But when we forget about it and we don't feel good, we start to get into judgment, then we kind of lose our way and it doesn't feel good to be in this place. So feel as good as you can. Connect in with your bigger self. It's you, that big self. It's not a foreign person. It's not a guardian angel. It's you. And start directing things, be the director, right? Instead of just a passenger. And you got it. It's going to be amazing.
I'll just sit here and listen to that for a sec.
Yeah.
So, we titled this Slow Down to Do More.
Mm-hmm.
And for both of us, that has looked like the slowing down for us has looked like prioritize yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose it doesn't have to be, we don't have to slow down, right? Like there's a moment of pause,
Mm-hmm.
right? To check in with ourselves. But I'm just trying to think of like people who always want to go fast, right? Like
I think that like I'm a go fast person, but the beauty of this is that I feel like I'm not feeling the fastness, even though everything's lining up for me to go fast. It's the fast is happening almost outside of me, but I'm feeling calm and spacious and easy. And like there's this whole fall into my alien tour coming together right now, and it's very slow and easy and plenty of time. And like, so I think in the past, I have felt the fast and like, I'm so busy, I need to keep up. But now I feel I'm just as busy, but it feels like I'm present within it and time's expanding and I'm feeling more of it and there's more enjoyment in it. That's what I'm feeling.
Same. It is that like recognizing the speed, but that it doesn't feel fast, which for me is like running really fast when you're in amazing shape compared to running really fast when you're in crap shape.
Yeah, I know. And I'm going to get to see which one I am tomorrow.
But like, it's such a difference. Like, and so I guess, right, we're practicing being in shape by like our higher selves, higher self is an exceptional shape, right? And if we let them take the wheel a little bit more often, really cool stuff happens.
That's exactly it. Yeah. We're using the part of us that's already in the most amazing shape ever. I can't talk either. So that makes sense. Yeah. And hey, Jana's saying the slowdown is different for everyone. Yeah, I'm sure everyone experiences this a little differently. Mm-hmm.
I was reminded, my son and I were talking about my husband in a loving way, but my husband is the king of busy. Like he really, I mean, he's just, there's like a constant like channel. There's always something going on. When I say channel, I don't mean that and like he's channeling his higher self. It's like a constant to-do list like going through his head. And a few years ago, he was like trying to make the most of his time by doing a lot of things. So he was I remember that he was home after work and changed his clothes and had to like do, it's just he's always like busy and in a rush. And he was doing something in the backyard and wasn't paying attention and fell into our empty pool and like broke himself. Like had a forced slowdown by his higher self. Like his higher self was like, stop doing that. And my son and I were laughing because we're like, you would have thought that he would have got the memo on that one. Like you would have thought he would have like recognized, oh, in the name of trying to be efficient, I was really inefficient because I like took myself out of commission for months. But he didn't get the memo. He's sort of like slowly getting it now. But it is exactly that. Is like sometimes we think that like productivity, like being efficient, like putting a lot of things on our list and making ourselves be busy is like that's going to speed things up. But what's speeding things up is like, let's take time to meditate. Like, we think that like feeling anxious or overwhelmed or like really scheduled will make us productive. But it's the opposite of that. It's actually like, what if you could just be in the right place at the right time?
Mhm.
And that's what's been happening.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing. I
Yeah.
love it. As someone who does like to do a lot of things. And you know, this week has given me complete clarity on, sometimes I would wonder, because people always comment on how much I sign up for, my partner, like mostly, and my dad. They're always telling me to relax and take time off and like stop doing so much. And then I sign up for more things and more things. And sometimes I've wondered, like, am I just like trying to get away from myself? Am I trying to avoid things? Is this because of trauma? And I'm trying to like keep myself busy to not deal with my problems or issues. And like this week has just showed me like there's no problem or issue because I'm able to be present and in that expanded time. And I feel great. Like I mean, I didn't really think there was anything wrong with me anyway, because I love silence and I love being with myself. And I'm like, there's nothing lurking, you know? So yeah, but that's not the case for everyone. Some people are really busy and really anxious because they're not willing to be with themselves in order for that resistance to come out. But meditating is the perfect way to transcend all of that and to be clearer and to elevate over all of that junk. In fact, on the Q&A call, there was a really beautiful explanation of that happening for some people who are just kind of like sifting out the junk and not having to deal with it and just elevating above it, because guess what? That junk is not you. The junk isn't you. The junk is just stuff you absorbed or hold on to from childhood that other people gave you. It's not yours. You don't have to deal with it. You don't have to analyze it. You don't have to clear it, heal it. You just be you and it naturally falls away. And that is a blessing. Blessing. You just get to be happy, my friends. I'm really sorry to tell you, but you just get to be happy. You just get to be happy. You're here for you and you get to be happy. I love that.
Well,
I just want to say this one thing. So I've been, I don't call myself this anymore really, but I've been a spiritual teacher for a very long time, probably my whole life, right? Like there's been all these kind of people coming up to me telling me, oh, you're an ascended master. From all over the world, people who don't know me, people who do know me, psychics, all the things. And I can understand why. And I started off kind of like not the most high vibe all the time. I went through a lot of depression and a lot of things. And I went through like the typical spiritual ascension kind of like, okay, I'm here to help the world. Okay, I'm here to be a mirror. Okay, I'm here to like be a catalyst, because that's what I called myself for a long time. I'm a catalyst. When people come around me, their lives change, which is true. But there was a long time where I felt like that's why I'm here. And that was my duty. Like that was my job. I called myself a helper. And like, I thought, okay, I'm like sort of sacrificing myself and like people are coming around me and I'm doing this for them. And then somewhere along the lines, I realized, oh, the world doesn't need my help and I'm not here to help anyone and nothing needs to be changed and everything is perfect and everyone is a divine being. And okay, so I have no purpose. And so I went through that sort of grieving process. And then I realized I'm here for me. I'm here to be happy. I'm here to do the things I enjoy. I'm here to do the things I love. And lo and behold, from that place, you are definitely helping other people and people are coming to you and they are changing, but it's not at the detriment of me. It's not at the detriment of, anyone, because I'm helping and helping heal from overflow, from joy, from love, not from lack and seeing lack in others. So I just wanted to point that out because that's part of this part of this being an expansion of time and getting more done is because you're focused on you. What lights you up? What makes you happy? What do you want to do today? What do you want to be as a human? So I know that was like a very fast, condensed version of like a spiritual journey, but I think it's important to point out, because if you're looking for a purpose that is outside of you, you're never going to really find it and be happy, because your purpose is inside you, to you.
And I know we're at time, but I just want to say, because I've been on this ride with you and on a similar ride of my own, and there's can be something scary and humbling about my purpose is to be me, and being me is enough to serve the world, right? Like it's that little, my purpose is to be me. I remember the first time you told me that, I was like, cool, but like, what the hell does that mean, right? All of this is leading us to like, oh my gosh, if you're not in the Higher Self class, come on in. But really, like, are you willing to feel worthy of being you? Because when you can do that, and I'm one who, I go in and out of worthiness, right? But when you can do that, when you can feel worthy of being you, I recognize, like, man, being me is enough. Some pretty cool stuff will happen.
Yeah. Because you're no longer in resistance. You're no longer seeing lack. And therefore, you're all abundance. You're all ease. You're all magnetism. And that's when life gets really good. Really good.
So in case no one ever told you, you're awesome.
Yeah.
You're amazing. You're enough. You're a gift to the world.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well, I just want to thank our channel members, and thank you, Jana, for being here today. Especially channel members get an extra video on Saturdays, and it's usually like a chatty behind the scenes thing. And if you join, you get access to all the past ones too. So if you want to join, you can click the join button below. It'll tell you about the different levels. Galaxy Pal levels get the video, and I love them. So come on in, and thank you to all of our channel members. And you can join Higher Self if you want. The link is in the description of the video. We're just a few days in, so you're not really missing anything. The recording of the Q&A is already in there. And you get the app, which is really a game changer. We are there. It's like we're all in a group text. We're just all like loving on each other, sharing our meditations. It is so much fun. So, and it's a very, very, very good price. So I would take advantage of it if you can, and maybe we'll see you in there. And thank you all for being here. And thank you, Dale and Guillaume and Janet. It was so good to see you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.